Hi everyone, Anmol here with another video in the series for building agent from scratch. In this video, we'll talk about another important topic, which is difference between open and closed model. So, what does it really mean when someone says I'm using an open model? So, all the LLM models that's out there can be categorized into two categories, which is closed models, like the models which we all know about, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. So these are models which are hosted by some companies on their server and they expose APIs for us to use. We cannot see what's internal for those LLM models. And then comes the open weight models. So after the training for these models are done, their weights are published publicly, so anyone can download these models and run it on their local machine, like we did using Olama application. We downloaded the Queen 3 code model. So when I say we downloaded a model, how does it really look like? So I'll open my terminal, and all the models that's downloaded in your MacBook, it's all in this folder called olama/model in the root directory models. And you'll see there are two folders, blobs and manifest. So the actual LLM files, which can be really huge, like in our case, the our model is almost 18.5 GB. I also have few other models, like this one is 2 GB. So all these are stored as blob with their SAW 256 number. And then the Olama also maintains a manifest folder for the everything. It's all in JSON. So for Queen, I'll open the 30 billion parameter model to just to look at how it is. All right, so let me just format it. All right, so this is the Queen models manifest directory. You don't really need to understand all of it, but it just means it's a large language model with multiple layers, and we'll talk about these layers in a different session. All right, so once these models are downloaded, you can just run a server locally on your machines. For example, in our case, we were running it on localhost on port 1143, and then whenever we write code, we will be simply communicating to those models through that local server. In case of closed models, those are not local servers but somewhere on the cloud, and we access them using public APIs, and they are behind a firewall. So API gateway, sorry, they are behind a API gateway, so you can only access them through a valid access token. For the local models, you don't have to really pay anything, and there's no sign up, and all the data, it remains on your local machine. At least you can control it. But then there's also a downside to it, like if the model is really huge, it cannot really run on your laptop because of the RAM limitation. And ultimately, for a really good model, you'll need to host it somewhere on the cloud. But again, you still have the benefit of controlling how your data is being used outside of your computer if you host the model yourself. Alright, there's also a utility JavaScript file that will give you the list of models in your local machine, but you can always use the inbuilt Olama list command to see the same list of models. And just to see at the local in the local host, we are accessing it through this API endpoint called /API/tags, and it gives you the list of all the models. And it's just looking into the folder structure in your local machine, which we saw in the root directory. And that's all. Thank you.